But if they want to follow through on this, yeah, it could certainly happen. If World War III happens, probably Mexico will no longer be around.
And Yahoo does it, Trump does it, Hitler did it. Donald Trump had a rather bizarre interview with the Spanish network Univision that went bad pretty fast, not just for him, but for the station, with ratings being reported down just hours after, large bits of outrage for them sucking up to Donald Trump in a softball interview, and the interviewer deciding to walk off and quit altogether. So the Trump effect is in full effect here, and I just wanted to look at a few of the weirdest clips. The first one is actually scary in terms of Trump still having a realistic chance to win the election and make this a reality. He's asked about if he would use his powers as president to target his political opponents, and with no hesitation he says, yeah, I would. Check it out.
But if they want to follow through on this, yeah, it could certainly happen in reverse. It could certainly happen in reverse. What they've done is they've released the genie out of the box. You understand that? They've done something that nobody thought would happen.
Now again, there's no proof that Biden or anyone of power is targeting Trump or other conservatives, and there's a slew of Democrats also being legally persecuted, such as Bob Melendez or Eric Adams, the list goes on. So this notion is laughable at best. Trump is just being held accountable for his crimes and can't really handle that. It's not something he's used to, is the vibe that I'm getting, and he's now blatantly declaring his plot for revenge. This is some movie villain-esque stuff. He said multiple times in multiple interviews in multiple different tones, and this is actually a scary thing considering that he could win and actually do this and start attacking the left in unprecedented ways from his own words. People faking outrage at the DOJ, targeting their political opponents when they're talking about Trump, when they have no evidence and they're really just doing it as a simple-minded way to defend their guy, should hold the same real outrage when he's clearly stating his intentions to actually do this thing that you're pretending to care so much about. But next in the interview, it gets kind of awkward as Trump is on his usual, the Democrats, Biden and Hillary are going to cause World War III and I'm the only one who can save it. And during that rant, he says that if this does happen, that Mexico is probably going to get wiped off the map. Take a look.
You could end up in World War III. And if World War III happens, probably Mexico will no longer be around because the power of nuclear weapons are so big. If they hit us, you're going to be wiped out too. That's how bad it is. And when I hear these people talking about the environment and over a 300-year period, the oceans will rise by 1/100th of an inch. And this is such a threat. It's not a threat. The threat is not global warming. It's nuclear warming. It's the single biggest threat to your country, to our country, to every country.
Now, this is absolutely Republican fear-mongering, something we commonly see on the far right, you know, create paranoia around a problem that doesn't exist and say, I'm the only one who can solve it. And Yahoo does it, Trump does it, Hitler did it. It's something we see commonly among these kind of authoritarian figures. And it is also absolutely a crazy pivot to deter from climate change. I mean, just admit that it's real, my guy. It's something that Republicans can't do because they love big oil. Look at their donors, look at the people who fund these people. They will never admit it because of it. But if right-wingers were really for disbanding this nuclear threat, that is the real threat that we need to be focusing about, there's not really these conversations about a broad global disarmament. The sentiment is always with Republicans and usually in an Islamophobic tone when they talk about it. All our enemies need to man down and give up their nukes and give it to us. But us, we're going to keep building our nukes and collecting our own and stacking those up. And it's like, it would be a video in and of itself to kind of go in and describe why this is stupid and it would never work. But obviously, what other country would go for this, where they're going to give up their nuclear arms and America is going to keep building theirs? It's almost like that's not actually the care for Republicans. The last clip that I wanted to look at, though, is just a funny one, really. Donald Trump seems to think Hispanic, Latino, who cares, right? You know, it's all the same to him.
We have tremendous support from I call Hispanic, Latino. You have lots of different terms, but it all means the same thing as far as I'm concerned.
Now, depending on who you ask, you'll get different answers, and I won't pretend to be a professional either, but generally speaking, a Latino would be someone from the Latin American region, and a Hispanic would be somebody that is Spanish speaking. I just think that the generalization here is kind of funny and hilarious to see from Trump. You know, it could be heartwarming and down to earth almost to see him be as confused as everyone else, right? It is funny to note, though, in these videos, the level that the 77-year-old former president is reduced to talking about on a global stage when he's seeking re-election for the presidency. You know, there's no policy talks, there's no solutions for the problems at hand, no past successes to bolster up, no mentioning his cabinet members, nothing like that. It's just a bunch of random mumbo jumbo mixed in with owning the libs, destroying them, and then, oh, let me like beat the hammer on why I'm innocent and being targeted, and oh, by the way, I'm going to target them back. We're going to get those lefties who are targeting me for no reason. I personally think that it's absolutely unbelievable that we're at a position where somebody like this has a realistic chance of actually winning the election at presidency again, especially when he absolutely fumbled it the first time. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that can interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video, because the only way we become a society is together.